motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. It is Just Win Monday on the Raider Critique right here after Week 11, baby. Let's go ahead and hop into the stats. But first, I want to shout out the chat, and I want to thank all of you for stopping in. Because let's be real, man. My show is probably not the best show there is. I do the best I can. But in all actuality, OBS and YouTube Studio, well, let's be real, man. They don't work well together. They don't work well together at all. As a matter of fact, as you guys can tell, when you be coming up in here, you be seeing a blank screen. And that's because, well, you know, I'll get into that on somebody else's live when I'm ranting and raving. I don't feel like ranting and raving right now. If I'm going to be ranting and raving, it's going to be more like hooting and hollering because we just got a motherfucking W against the Broncos, sweeping the Denver Broncos in the 2022 season, and I couldn't be fucking happier. So I can tell you what's up, man. Hey, I want to salute everybody in here. Elizabeth, Raider Pena, yeah, my man, Circus Raider, Fade to Black, man, all my dogs are in here. How are y'all doing this Monday evening? Dirty 30, man, it's good to see every single one of y'all in here. Let's hop on over into the stats, my friends. I'm sure you guys have already went over them on other channels, but you know, that's what I kind of do here. So, pardon me for not knowing my stuff very well. Jump over here. There we go. Transition. Bam! Here we are. Derek Carr went 23 of 37 for 307 yards at an 8.3 yard average. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked once for 9 yards with a quarterback rating of 75. Josh Jacobs was our only runner yesterday. 24 carries for 109 yards, 4.5 yard average. He didn't score a touchdown though. His longest rush was 15. Receiving, Devontae Adams showed up yet again. This dude shows up every game. This is why they paid him the big dollars to come over here. 7 receptions for 141 yards, 20.1 average, 2 touchdowns. One of those being the walk-off touchdown in overtime. Wide the fuck open. I don't know how you get that wide open when you are literally the best wide receiver in the NFL. But he was that wide open, and he won the game for us. Mac Hollins showed up, 6 receptions for 52 yards on 9 targets. Josh Jacobs also showed up in the past game, 3 receptions for 51 yards, 17-yard average, 43 being his long. That dime that was thrown to him was absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to talk more about that too. He was targeted 4 times. Foster Moreau, 1 reception, targeted 3 times for 33 yards, which was actually a hell of a catch by him. Keelan Cole, 1 for 21. He was targeted twice. Amir Abdullah was targeted 4 times, 3 receptions for 5 yards, averaging 1.7 yards per catch. Brandon Bolden, 1 for 4. And then Jakob Johnson, 1 for 0. Defensively, Andrew Billings led our team in tackles with 7 total, 2 solo. But Max Crosby was the guy who had the big day. He had 6 total tackles, 5 of those were solo, 2 sacks, both of those for a loss. He hit the quarterback 3 times, and he also blocked a field goal. Denzel Perryman, 6 total, 5 solo, 2 of those were for a loss. Belial Nichols showed up as well. He had 6 total tackles, 3 of those were solo, and 1 tackle for a loss. He hit the quarterback twice as well with Perryman. Roderick Teamer actually looked pretty good yesterday, being in on some of these plays. He had 5 tackles, 3 of those were solo. Chandler Jones actually had more than 2 tackles. He actually showed up. I guess he decided to pull himself off of the milk carton because he had 5 total tackles. He was actually a very huge force in the run game that honestly they did not have. Now, I just want to look over here at their stats right quick. We held them to a total of 94 yards by team. You know what I mean? It's not great, but it was under 100 yards. They didn't have a single solitary back who actually wrecked the game and ran the ball all over us. As a matter of fact, we have a familiar face in their running back room in Latavius Murray. You know, he used to be a Raider. He ran 17 times for 49 yards and he had a touchdown. He was averaging 2.9 yards per carry. Melvin Gordon, 8 carries for 31 yards, 3.9 yards per carry. He also had a key fumble that Max Crosby made happen. Now, even though they recovered it, that was still a hell of a damn hit on that ball, man. And he needs to learn to protect the ball more. Russell Wilson, 1 for 8. And Chase Edmonds, 2 for 6. Now, Russell Wilson went 24 of 31 for 247 yards and an 8-yard average. He was sacked 3 times with a quarterback rating of 29.7. So there's the stats, Raider Nation. We came out on top, 22-16, which is exactly what needed to happen. Now, I don't want to be over happy, but I'm not going to be bummed about a win, especially since we totally needed this win. Raider Nation, it feels good to know that we at least had a wide receiver other than Davante Adams show up. I think it showed that, this team can be dynamic, and it's not happening from the players that we were expecting it to happen from, because let's be real, they're hurt. Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow are gone. So we had to have another guy step up, and Mac Hollins, he really can catch. He finally can catch. I know he's been sitting there showing in the earlier games that he's pretty inconsistent, but yesterday he stepped up, man. He had a real key catch down the middle of the field where he got lit the fuck up, but he held on to the ball. And that's why I even made a backdrop for this cat, man, because he showed some tenacity yesterday, and without him showing up on his 6 receptions for 52 yards, we may not have won this game. I mean, we literally won this game in overtime. We're finally 1-1 in overtime. You know what I'm saying? Because we were 0-1 in overtime for this year, and and in close games, we haven't been the team to come out on top. Josh Jacobs showed up again for this team, eclipsing the century mark, I believe, for the, 4th time this year? So he's definitely showing why he should have got the money and not Darren Waller. Because without Josh Jacobs, I don't think that this team performs as well as they did yesterday, or even performs very good as they did in weeks past. Even though, we're coming off of a 3-game losing streak, and we needed this win, man. And Josh Jacobs has always eaten up Denver. He's always eaten up Denver. So I didn't expect anything less, and with him eclipsing the century mark, it just goes to show Denver is not prepared for Josh Jacobs at all, period. And we're starting to finally see the Derek Carr and Davante Adams connection finally work. And what I mean by that, I know we've been seeing them go in the past, going together and whatnot, but they seem like they're finally on the same page, and it looks great out there. Davante Adams was a force to be reckoned with all game long, and Derek Carr, honestly, he didn't commit any turnovers yesterday. You know what I mean? Just like he didn't commit any turnovers against the Colts, neither. He's playing his ass off, whether a lot of people want him gone or not. But it's not really just on one player, on why in the hell we've been losing all these damn games. This defense has been pretty much non-existent in key parts of the game. Well, not this week, man. I think this team can possibly go a few more wins, but do I think that we'll go 10-7? I don't know. I honestly don't know if we'll go 10-7. I know this defense stepped up. It was about time that we saw this defense do something other than give up hella yards and massive amounts of points. And it was all because of Mad Max. Mad Max jumped all over the shit. Now, our secondary is still suspect. There are still some key holes in our secondary. But I'll tell you what, Mad Max Crosby, Chandler Jones was getting after the run game and even got a quarterback. He even pressured the quarterback once yesterday. Well, man, we had guys in the backfield all game long against that Denver Donkeys' worst offense in the league. And that is another thing, too. That was the worst offense in our division. That is the worst offense, I believe, in the AFC. So this team should have ate. Because of how lackluster their offense really is, we shouldn't be having issues stopping that offense and Russell Wilson. And there's a lot of people out there who wanted Russell Wilson last year. And y'all know who you are. Okay? I hope you are eating your words now. Because this is what the hell we would have got out of Russell Wilson. Now, he's not the greatest quarterback. He's not the worst. But he's definitely not the greatest. And it would have taken him forever to figure out Josh McDaniels' system. So really, it would have been an absolute terrible idea to bring him in here. And it's starting to look like a very terrible idea that Denver brought him in there, because he is now going to make their team suffer for a decade due to that massive contract he got playing for the team. Hey, that's good. We're 6-0 against the Broncos. Maybe we can make it 8 by the end of next year and 10 by the end of the year after that. So I'm cool with that. Because if you're not able to build around somebody, excuse me, because you dumped all your money into one player, that's kind of how it works. And that's where Denver is at right now. They're basically going to be in cap purgatory. Our offensive line stepped up yesterday too. Now, I'll tell you one thing about this offensive line. Colton Miller went down and they put in Jermaine Illuminor. And look, my heart skipped a beat when I found out that Jermaine Illuminor was going in at left tackle. And we were going to start Thayer Mumford over at right tackle. I'll tell you what, man. Derek Carr relatively tried to keep himself clean. The line tried to keep himself, keep him clean, but it didn't really work out that way. Derek Carr was in duress all day long. Our offensive line has flopped up so much that I don't even know where we're going with this. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you this, it worked out yesterday for the run game, because it seems like that this line can run block like no other in this league. We have the best run blocking offensive line in the league as far as I'm concerned, but they are suspect in the pass. They really need to par up on their pass blocking if they want to keep Derek Carr out of duress to where he's able to make good decisions and find his receivers and tight ends down the field. Now, I'm going to go over a few things on why I thought we won. We didn't run any trick plays. We didn't sit out there. We didn't try to run no end around, no reverses, no jet sweeps. We played straight up football offensively. And it looked good. I'm glad we weren't out there trying to do any flea flickers. I'm glad that we weren't trying to do any wide receiver passes. Okay? We didn't run any trick plays. You know, and if I was going to do a pregame video, that was going to be the one thing that I was going to say that one of my keys to the game is don't run any fucking trick plays. And we didn't run any trick plays this game. Number 2, I thought that this team actually played with some continuity in between the coaching staff and the players. For the first time this season, I think I'm starting to see the players get the scheme. Now, it could just be because we went against Denver, and they knew that all the marbles pretty much rode on this about sweeping the Broncos, you know, because we don't want to be the worst team in the division. But I can tell you this, if this team can play like this and show this continuity, we'll be a tough team to beat. But I do believe that the second reason why we won is because this team played with some continuity in between the coaching staff and the players. And then number 3, man, the defense bent, but they didn't break. They came up in key moments. They did everything they had to do to get the ball back in the offense's hands to where we could get that looping pass to Josh Jacobs down the sideline for 43 some odd yards to line up that field goal to get this game into overtime. And I'm going to go ahead and applaud this team for that. I'm going to applaud this defense for playing their fucking ass off. Our secondary, though, is suspect. Sam Webb out there does not look good. The dude was getting used like toilet paper all game long. I hope he can tighten up. Man, I'm really hoping that Nate Hobbs comes back sometime soon and kind of solidifies that secondary, because we really need him down the stretch. But my hat's off to the defense. The defense played their ass off yesterday. And look at what happens when the offense and defense flow together. They played with some tenacity, they played with some fight, and they didn't give up. And they were in that game all game long up to the very end when they finally won it. And that's pretty much what I got for you, Raider Nation. I'm going to hop over here into the Shield. It's good to see every single one of y'all in the chat, man. Let me bring up that chat, and I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Raphael, man. Raider Ray, bro. Circus Raider. Elizabeth. Raiderette for life. Man, it's good to see all y'all here at Dirty 30. It really is, and I'm glad to see that all y'all have, just come in to check me out. This is the post-game review for Week 11 against the Denver Broncos, where pretty much at least we have something to hold our chin up about. We didn't spend $246 million on a quarterback and pretty much just watched our whole franchise go up in smoke over one dude to have a shitty record. We just have a shitty record with a whole bunch of people that we paid a bunch of money to who ain't showing up to play, like Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, because they're injured. But the guys who did get paid, Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Max Crosby, these guys are showing up. And even the dudes who didn't get paid, like Josh Jacobs, where, let's just be honest, man, we need to figure out how to re-sign that guy, and I don't think we're gonna have the cap. Well, I don't think we're gonna have the cap next year to do it. So we're probably gonna lose him, man. What's going on, Alice Ghost? It's good to see you here, guys. And Max was a one-man wrecking crew, bro. Max was he was all over the damn place. And I'll tell you what, I believe he was a 4th-round pick, he was an absolute steal. Mike Mayock knew exactly what he was getting in him. And I'm so glad for Mike Mayock for even bringing that dude on the team. And I'm glad that he got his money too, you know what I mean? Because even though he got his money, he's still playing. And he's playing with heart. And he's playing with tenacity. And, when the team fucks up, he's going on Twitter and apologizing. You know what I mean? He's taking accountability, and he'll straight up tell you himself, go look at his Twitter. That dude has been balling out since day one after he got his money. And I can salute him for that, man. I mean, at least he's trying. There are some guys on this team that, back on the 3-game losing skid, you saw they weren't trying. They stopped running after and pursuing the ball carrier. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't see that against the Broncos. But in all actuality, man, Finally, we saw this team play with a little bit of heart. And finally, we can feel good about going into overtime again, because there for a second, I was like, oh, fuck. We haven't fucking had great luck in overtime lately. But all that went away after I pretty much saw that we were going to receive. And I was like, all right, yeah, we're going to receive the ball. Now all we got to do, let's just put this motherfucker in the end zone. And sure enough, if Derek Carr doesn't find a wide open Devontae Adams, wide open, how do you get that wide open being that good? You're not being double covered. Like, it was a complete blown coverage. Devontae Adams wide open always spells disaster for our opponent. That's for real. And man, it was a hell of a game, and I'm happy about the win. I don't know about every one of you. I've heard there's some people pissed off out there because we might have hurt our draft stock. If you're a Raider, bro, if you're a Raider through and through, you are never going against this team to lose. Because that's not what we do, bro. We fight all the way till the very end, and we'll scratch and claw all the way up to the very last second, trying to get that W, because it's all about just win. It's not just tank. That doesn't even sound right. So, I mean, I'm going to take a W any day of the week, and I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to be mad about a W at all. As a matter of fact, I feel that this is a very good start to the week where I can go all the way up to work. And see, I work at a pool company. I clean swimming pools. Well, we got a pool store. And the one who runs the counter and checks the customers out and buying their necessities for their swimming pools, he's a Broncos fan. So I get to have fun every morning this week when I get to go in all the way up until Sunday. And and that's exactly what I plan on doing. I'm going to fuck with that guy until he's blue in the face. I promise you that. Because, but the good thing is that at least he's not one of these delusional fans. And you know how delusional fans are. They can actually look at it from a football perspective, a non-fan perspective, and be able to realize what their team's faults are, where they've gone wrong, and he's one of those guys. So yeah, I can sit there, I can just hit him with little jabs, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit him with little jabs all week long. Oh, bro, he is talking mad shit about Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Oh, I fuck with him too. Yeah, bro. Hey, every day, I'll get over there next to him. I'll get right up in his ear and be like, yo, Broncos country, I'm going to have him hating me by the end of the year, bro. Guarantee, yeah. Tell him Donkey's country, we tried. That's a good one, dude. Thank you. Hey, all ideas are appreciated and will be used. You know what I mean? Just feed me. Whatever else I gotta tell him. Poor Marcus, I'm gonna fuck with him so hard, dude. I was fucking with him today because, we were talking about Russell Wilson's contract. And, and I told him, I was like, the reason why Russell Wilson's not winning with the Denver Broncos because he doesn't look like a horse. So I mean, he loved that one, but I'm gonna definitely be using this Donkey's country. We tried, yeah, absolutely. But I appreciate all y'all for coming in, man. And if you're new here, which I don't see any new cats in here, but I've been starting to get more views. Not during the lives, but as the week progresses. And I'm literally now getting over 100 views per video, and I have all of you to thank for that. I appreciate every single one of y'all who come in here, man. I remember when this channel only used to get like 1, 2, 3, 4 views of the video. You know what I mean? I remember when this channel wasn't like nowhere near where it's at right now. And where it's at right now is astronomical numbers that I honestly thought that I would never see for this channel, and I have every single one of you to thank for it. And I mean, for real, man. Hey, as a matter of fact, everybody who's here in the chat, man, Circus Raider, Dirty 30, Raiderette, Robert Pena, I want you guys to hit me up on Instagram, all right, on a direct message, Fade. Everybody who's here in the chat, man. Now, of course, I'm old school, but, I mean, I don't know if y'all rock these or not, but, you guys, Al's Ghost, man, I want every single one of y'all who were in the live chat tonight to hit me up on Instagram. You will find me at The Raider Critique on Instagram. You know what I mean? Hit me up on there with a direct message, man, and I want to send every single one of you one of my patches. I want to send, you can iron these on, or you can sew them on if you want. But they're made by Vic the Bad Guy at badguybadgirl.com. Raider Apparel, they not only do these patches, but they do jerseys and hoodies, man, pretty much anything that you guys could possibly imagine for Raider memorabilia. Raider Vic the Bad Guy does it, and he does it superbly, man. Now, I'm going to put in the description where to find his website, and you guys can go there. You can get your own patches made, or you can always just hit me up and get one of mine. But I want everybody, Raider Ray, Circus Raider, Al's Ghost, You know what I mean? Fade to black. I want all y'all cats, man. Raider rep for life. Just hit me up on Instagram, man, and send me your P.O. box or your address to where I can go ahead and send these patches to you. Because y'all are the real Raider Nation, man. Y'all come and you fight every single solitary week with this team just like I do, and I've done it ever since 1991. There's been seasons where I have taken off back when I was a kid, you know what I mean? But I've been ride or dying ever since, man. And whether we win, lose, or tie, I'm always going to be a fucking Raider, dude. I'm a Raider until my casket hits the dirt. You know what I'm saying? And I know every single one of y'all are too. And I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming in here, man, and checking out my content. And I would like to show my appreciation to all of you for it. So please, just hit me up on Instagram at TheRaiderCritique. Or you can even possibly hit me up on Twitter as well if you have a Twitter at InGun421. So until the post-game, or the pre-game review for the Seattle Sea Chickens, which more than likely I will be doing maybe, you know, it's probably going to happen on Friday, man, right before I go on Raider Ben's channel, because I'm going on Raider Ben's live on Friday. And then hopefully, Raider Nation, I'll have a surprise for every single one of you, besides these patches that I'm going to be mailing out to you, on the channel Saturday the 26th. The Hardcore Raider Nation podcast is going live again, and we've got a very special guest coming on. Some of you will actually probably know who this guy is if you listen to certain radio stations. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all for coming in. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for more content right here, Raider content, right here on the Raider Critique, where we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid and we tell you the truth with intensity. And I can tell you this, Raider Nation, don't be mad about a win, all right? Especially right now when we thought we were going to be getting hella W's. Let's not be mad about the few W's that we may still be able to get this year. And hey, we're possibly going to be about a game to 2 games back from second place in the AFC West. You know what I mean? It all depends on how this team wants to play. If they're going to play with continuity and they're going to keep gelling together like we saw this week, we can see a 10-7 Raiders team. So until then, salute to all of you. I'm the Raider Critique, and you know how we always end this. It's Raider Nation for life. Let's go fucking whoop on these Sea Chickens.
Let's rock. Coast country, let's rock. Coast country, let's rock. Coast country, let's rock. Coast country, let's rock.